Finally, the anticipated battle, Ash versus Guzma. Alola everyone, TradeMan1 here. We're back with another Pokémon Sun and Moon anime review. Today we're covering episode 136, the continuation to Kiawe versus Gladion, and the beginning of Ash versus Guzma. So let's go ahead and get into the summary and my thoughts on this episode. So this episode actually has some pretty interesting information go down. Like, it was a lot of plot points in this episode. And the first one starting off is with Kiawe and Gladion when it came to Ash. Both trainers have a moment where they admit that their main goal after the end of this battle is to make it to the finals to battle Ash himself. So basically that's Kiawe and Gladion's main goal in this battle, which is pretty interesting. And thus the battle continues, which is pretty good so far. Savali is pretty much, the main Pokemon that's winning in this battle though. Like, we could kind of tell that this was going to happen. Turtonator took a lot of damage from Lycanroc. But Kiawe ends up using some pretty good strategies to get around Savali and actually uses Fire MZ on him. In this scene, we get to see the other rivals still watching the league, which I love that Hao and Acerola are actually still here watching. Like, that's pretty cool that they showed them all. Because I was wondering, where's Acerola? Acerola has such a nice bond with the group, so I feel like she should have stayed. And then when we didn't see Hao, I was kind of confused too. But they're still here watching the battles, which is pretty nice. And Gladion actually ends up throwing the fire disc out to Savali, which I found is pretty interesting that he went with fire. My guess is that so Gladion doesn't come off as cheating, he'll go with the same type as the, opponent he's facing. Basically, like, instead of going with a, disc that may be, like immune to. So, like, say if Pikachu was going for his Pikachu MZ, instead of going with ground, he may go with the electric disc. I can see that happening. But yeah, sadly, Turtonator can't keep up with Savali and ends up losing in the end, which I gotta say, Kiawe did a great job in this league. For his first league, I gotta say, Kiawe was amazing. Like, from the Battle Royale until now, Kiawe was making some amazing strategies, realizing some important plot points, and it's just really nice to see how much Kiawe has grown throughout the series. I gotta say, Kiawe has definitely become one of my favorites of Ash's companions after all that he's went through in the series. And yeah, I know it's sad that he lost, and Ash and Kiawe won't be the ones battling, but at the same time, I do like what they did here. Basically, Kiawe admits that all this time he thought Ash was his main rival, but in reality, it's actually Gladion. And so now a rivalry has begun between Kiawe and Gladion, which I love a lot. And yes, I know we probably won't see another battle between them anytime soon, but it still was a really nice moment at the end of the day. With Gladion even admitting to Kiawe, that was such a great battle. And it's funny too, because when the battle's over, you can see Gladion like have a sigh of relief, basically showing that Kiawe really had him on his edge in this battle and that he felt like he had a chance of losing. Like, I feel like this battle was pretty even for both opponents. We get a little more Team Skull plot as well, which is pretty interesting, where we get to see Plumeria is very worried for Guzma because of how he's been acting lately, and he's been getting all outraged, and how it's not good for Guzma's health at all. And we actually get to see a flashback in the scene of Plumeria going through a lot of Guzma's stuff, and he has a lot of awards, kind of like in the games, but they're all like second place or silver prize, and it's like he can never get first place is what it's saying. And it's known that Guzma is undefeated, but nobody really knows why he's undefeated except for Plumeria, which has me kind of interested to see, like, what is Guzma doing? It was interesting because Plumeria actually cut her finger when, I guess, picking up one of the awards or something. I don't really know. Maybe Guzma may be cheating just a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see till next episode. And I actually do believe that the anime could tackle the plot of Guzma's parents, because in the games we know that like there was like some golf clubs and stuff, and Guzma was probably went through a lot as a child with his parents because he was never first place. Even Plumeria mentioning this wouldn't have happened if you were all victory trophies, which means implying that we may actually get us an arc about Guzma after the league, which will be pretty interesting. But yeah, following the scenes, we get to see Team Rocket still building their robot, doing Team Rocket things. And the freaking Beware stuff, we just get this long montage of Beware stuff with just doing their hot tub routine, which sooner or later they're going to get tired of this, I'm pretty sure. So Team Rocket, it's funny, while Team Rocket is, building their stuff, Beware stuff will, start to be like, all right, now, enough of the hot tub. It's time to go get Team Rocket, which is going to be pretty interesting to see how that goes down as well. One scene I really did like as well in this episode was the standoff between Ash and his friends versus Team Skull, where they all were just like cheering for their buddies on who's gonna win. Where Ash's friends were of course cheering for Ash, and Team Skull were cheering for their boss Guzma. And Guzma and Ash have a bit of a stare off, but Guzma doesn't say anything. I believe Guzma sees Kiawe within Ash in this moment, and that's why he decides to walk off, which is like, oh boy, this is gonna be pretty good. Even leaving the Team Skull grunt shocked that Guzma doesn't say anything to Ash. But of course our boy is still determined to defeat Guzma in this league once and for all. And a lot of the plot points that have appeared earlier are coming back as well, with Kiawe telling Nanu, all right, it's your time to, be the announcer. And Kikui's remembering what Guzma said about being the strongest trainer and destroying Kikui's dreams. So it's like so much big stuff is happening now. And it's just like, oh my gosh, it's kind of getting kind of nervousing. I feel like Ash is going to win once and for all for sure though. But still, the pumpingness of this battle is really nice. With Guzma even having such a cocky smirk as he calls out his Scizor to the battle as well. Which I was pretty surprised to see Scizor, because I thought that the summary was stating that Gliscor was going to go first. Then the Torracat brings out Scizor, and then, Gliscor comes back. But no, Scizor actually has the move U-turn. Which I think this also relates to why Guzma is so undefeated as well, is because he does a lot of switching in his battles, with Gliscor having emergency exit, Scizor having U-turn. Like, that was pretty interesting to see that as well. But yeah, Gliscor went in all in his battle as well, with multiple liquidations trying to take out Torracat once and for all. But Ash and Torracat actually got a lot of hits in, and oh boy, was Torracat going all out in this battle. For one, the music choice that they played during this episode was nice as well. Like, I forgot to mention that in the Kiawe and Gladion battle, they actually played the Ultra Necrozma theme, and it was just amazing hearing that theme in the anime. And the animation was pretty smooth throughout this episode as well. It wasn't as good as last week's, because last week's was spectacular. But it was pretty nice during this episode as well. I really did like a lot of the animation. There was one scene in the episode where Torracat was just going crazy, like it came down Fire Fang right onto Gliscor. Gliscor struggling to try and get Torracat off, flailing around trying to hit Torracat with multiple throat chop, and Torracat getting in with one more revenge right into the chest, where that's Gliscor's weak spot. It gets to the point where Torracat ends up activating emergency exit, which we actually get to see differently here. We get to see that Gliscor is actually scared, which is so crazy to see. Like, Gliscor, I thought emergency exit was just a cooler way of, doing it, but it's still being a wimp at the end of the day. And this is the one time the anime follows game logic, with when Scizor comes out, a Fire Blast hits Scizor right in the face, defeating it. Which it makes perfect sense why this happened, because Fire Blast is 4 times effective. Torracat has Stab, and it's like one of the strongest fire moves. So the fact that Scizor actually got one-shotted was so accurate, which is so crazy to me. And this is where things get interesting, because Guzma appears to be devastated after this. I don't fully know what Guzma's strategy was and why he never loses and stuff, but I feel like Scizor was an important part to that. And since Scizor lost here, Guzma really has to find a way to, get around Ash. He's even yelling all out at Gliscor, which makes me think that Guzma may actually end up releasing Gliscor, and Gliscor may end up going to Ash and being his 6th member for the next round, if the next round is 6v6. I don't know actually. That's what some people are thinking, but I don't think Guzma would release Gliscor. I don't know what's going to happen exactly, but Guzma is like, you better not lose this, or, worse will come and stuff. So it's like, it's not looking good, especially since, Ash still has Torracat and Pikachu available, so Ash is going to win this more than likely. But still, for this to happen, and Gliscor comes back, and Guzma's just angry. Like, you can see the rage in his face. I don't know how the rest of this battle is going to go out. And even in the preview for next week's episode, it looks like Gliscor's going to do pretty well. Like, this is one scene the Pikachu look like it's in pain, and I'm like, no, I don't want to watch that. But we are going to have to wait and see how that episode goes, guys. But yeah, there was so much plot in this episode, and it's simply amazing to see how this battle is being handled. Like, this has been really hyped up for a long time, and I really did enjoy this battle from the beginning to the end. The top 4 has been the best round, in my opinion. Like, Kiawe and Gladion was spectacular, and this battle has been pretty good as well. Like, it's been pretty interesting seeing how, these battles have been playing out recently, and they've been much better than some of the earlier rounds. Now, I still really do love the Battle Royale a lot too, because that was a really nice round too, in my opinion. Like, I liked how that was handled. But yeah, everyone, this was an amazing episode. Music was nice. The story was really plot heavy. Like, this, you can really tell it's a plot heavy battle. Like, this battle does focus a lot on action, but this is like the plot of the, league. which also makes me nervous for the finals because it's a 50-50 chance that Ash could lose to Gladion. Like, Ash has not beaten Gladion yet, and normally he defeats his rivals in the league. But as we know from Alola, Ash never beat Alola, so it's a chance he might not beat Gladion. I really don't know. This has me a lot more nervous for the finals as well because we have to really wait and see. But we know Torcat really wants to battle the Incineroar, but at the same time, we all thought Greninja was going to win, so it's like we really don't know how the next round's going to go. But yeah, in the comment section down below, let me know what y'all thought of this episode. I loved it a lot. It was really pumping and hypeful. Thank you all for watching, and I hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Trayman1. Peace out.